You're not alone. The real problem isn't your grammar. It's how your brain thinks. In this video, I'll show you the simple secret to stop translating and start thinking naturally in English. Stay till the end, because this one habit can completely change the way you speak forever. Chapter 1. The Real Problem. You study English. You learn grammar. You memorize words. You watch videos and repeat sentences. But when the moment comes to speak, your brain freezes. You know the words, yet they disappear. You try to form a sentence, but everything feels slow and broken. You want to speak, but something invisible stops you. That something is translation. You are thinking in your own language first, and then trying to change every word into English. It feels like walking through thick mud. You move, but every step is heavy. This happens to millions of learners. They study for years, but they still translate. It is not because they are lazy or not talented. It is because they learned English in the wrong direction. They learned words from their own language to English, not from English to meaning. Every time they hear a sentence, their brain first travels to their native language, then returns to English. That extra travel takes time. And when you speak, time is everything. By the time your brain finishes translating, the conversation has already moved on. I know that feeling. You feel nervous. You start doubting yourself. You tell yourself, maybe I can't do it. Maybe English is not for me. But that is not true. You are not the problem. The method is. The good news is that this habit can change. You can train your brain to think directly in English, you can stop translating, and when that happens, speaking becomes natural. You will not think of rules or grammar. You will just speak, and the words will come easily, like water flowing from a tap. Let's understand what is really going on. Your brain is amazing. It loves to save energy. It follows the easiest path it knows. Since childhood, you have been using your own language to think. So your brain uses that same path for English too. It translates because that's what it has always done. It's not your fault. But here's the magic part. The brain can create new paths. It can build a direct road from English words to meaning. You just need to give it time and practice in the right way. Think about how you learned your first language. You never translated. You didn't know another language to use. You listened, copied, and spoke. Slowly, your brain built a direct link between words and meaning. You can do that again with English. You just need to start small. Repeat real sentences and stop waiting for perfection. Translation is not your friend. It slows you down. It keeps you trapped in your old habits. But thinking directly in English is freedom. When you stop translating, something beautiful happens. You begin to feel English instead of analyzing it. You hear a word and understand it instantly. You see a sentence and feel its meaning without thinking. Your mind becomes faster, lighter, and more confident. Speaking becomes fun. You don't have to fight with your brain anymore. You just express yourself naturally. Every fluent English speaker in the world once had this same problem. They all started where you are, but they decided to change one thing. They stopped asking, "How do I say this in English?" and started asking, "How do I think this in English?" That one question changes everything. Because fluency is not about knowing many words. It's about connecting those words to your real thoughts and emotions. So today, make a small promise to yourself. You will stop translating word by word. You will let go of fear. You will train your mind to think directly in English. It will not happen overnight, but it will happen faster than you imagine. Every sentence you repeat, Every video you listen to, every thought you express in English builds that new path in your brain. One day you will notice it. You will hear a question in English and your answer will come automatically. No pause, no translation, just your real voice speaking clearly. That moment will feel magical, but it will not be magic. It will be the result of your daily effort and belief in yourself. Translation was never your weakness, it was just an old habit. And now, it's time to build a new one. The habit of thinking in English. Chapter 2. How Babies Learn Without Translating. Have you ever watched a baby learning to speak? It's one of the most beautiful things in the world. They listen, they smile, they copy sounds, and slowly they start to speak. They don't have grammar books, they don't study rules. They don't ask anyone, what does this word mean in my language? Yet one day, they can express everything they want. They can say when they're hungry, when they're happy, and when they love someone. How do they do it? They learn without translating. This is the biggest secret most adults forget. When you were a baby, you didn't translate words. You connected them directly to meaning. You saw your mother and heard the word mama. You felt love, warmth, and care. That sound became part of your feeling. You didn't think, mama means this word in my language. You just knew it. You built a natural link between sound and meaning. That is how the human brain is designed to learn any language. When we grow older, we start learning in the wrong way. We study English by comparing it with our own language. We write long lists of vocabulary with meanings next to them. We memorize them, but they don't stay in our minds for long. Why? Because our brain doesn't work like a dictionary. It works through experience, sound, and emotion. The more you connect English with real life, the faster you learn. The more you translate, the slower you grow. Imagine how babies repeat everything they hear. They hear apple and see a red fruit. They connect the sound directly to what they see. If you want to think in English, you must do the same. When you see something, don't think of its translation, think of its English name. Look at the sky and say, the sky is blue. Hear the birds and say, the birds are singing. Touch your phone and say, this is my phone. You are not just saying words, you are teaching your brain to make a new connection. Babies also learn because they are not afraid to make mistakes. They say words incorrectly. They mix sounds, but they don't stop. They keep trying. They learn from people around them who speak naturally. Every day they listen, copy, and try again. That's how they become fluent. You can do the same. The problem is, adults fear mistakes. They think, what if I say it wrong? But the truth is, that's how you'll say it right. Every small mistake teaches your brain to adjust, just like a baby learning to walk. You must bring that baby mindset back. You must listen more than you speak. Repeat what you hear, and stop worrying about grammar too early. Babies don't start with rules, they start with rhythm. They start with feelings, they start with sound. Grammar comes later, naturally. The same will happen to you when you stop translating and start living English. Think about how amazing your brain is. It learned your first language without effort. That means it already knows the process. You just have to remind it. English is not a subject. It's a living sound, a voice, a rhythm of thinking. The more you listen, the more your brain adapts. Every time you hear English, your brain creates new connections. The more natural input you give it, the faster it learns to think directly. Obey, don't expect magic in one day. But with every small effort, you are becoming fluent. You are building a new world inside your mind. You are training your thoughts to speak a new language. Remember, every fluent English speaker was once like a baby in English. They couldn't understand, they couldn't speak, but they didn't give up. They listened, repeated, and grew. You can do it too. Stop trying to translate. Start connecting English with life. When you eat, think in English. When you walk, think in English. When you see, name it in English. Slowly, your mind will stop asking for translations. It will understand directly. That's the same miracle that happens in every child's mind. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to be patient, curious, and fearless, like a baby learning its first words. Chapter 3. The First Step. Simple Sentences. Every big journey starts with a small step. Learning to think in English is the same. You don't need thousands of words to start. You only need a few simple sentences that connect with your real life. Most learners make a big mistake. They start with difficult grammar, long vocabulary lists, and complex books. Then they feel lost. They lose energy and stop believing in themselves. But the truth is, English becomes easier when you make it part of your daily life in small, natural ways. The first step is to use simple sentences that you can actually feel. For example, when you wake up, say, I am awake. When you brush your teeth, say, I am brushing my teeth. When you drink water, say, I am thirsty. These small sentences are more powerful than hundreds of difficult words. They are your connection to real English. When you speak like this, your brain starts to link English directly with your daily actions. It no longer needs to translate. Think about it. When a baby learns to speak, they start with small, simple phrases. They don't begin with big grammar books. They say, I want milk, or it's cold. You can do the same with English. The goal is not to impress others. The goal is to train your brain to think naturally. Every time you say a small sentence, your brain gets stronger. It begins to respond faster. It begins to trust itself. Simple sentences also give you confidence. When you can say something easily, you feel proud. That small success pushes you to say more. You start to enjoy speaking. You stop worrying about mistakes. You stop comparing yourself with others. You realize that fluency doesn't come from knowing big words. It comes from using small words again and again until they become automatic. Many learners waste time chasing difficult material. They want to sound smart before they even feel comfortable. But fluency grows from the ground, not from the top. If your foundation is strong, everything you build on it will stay. Start by mastering small sentences that describe your world. Say them out loud. Repeat them often. Use them in real situations. When you feel them, they become part of your thinking. You don't need to study for hours. You just need consistency. Practice 1 or 2 sentences in the morning. Add 1 more in the evening. Use them while walking, cooking, or cleaning. Soon, your brain will not ask, "What's the translation?" It will already know. That's how fluency is born. Simple, real, daily practice creates a fluent mind. Another secret is emotion. When you connect feelings to your sentences, your brain remembers faster. For example, say, I am happy today, and smile. Say, I am tired when you feel it. Say, I am hungry before eating. Your mind will learn because it connects language with real emotion. This is how children learn, and it works perfectly for adults too. Do not underestimate the power of simple sentences. They are small keys that open big doors. The more you use them, the stronger your English brain becomes. They help you move from silence to speech, from translation to thinking. They give you the courage to speak, even when no one is watching. One day you'll realize that you are speaking naturally. You won't think about grammar. You won't translate. The words will come automatically, because your brain will already be trained to think in English. It all starts with those first small steps. So today, choose your sentences. Say them. Live with them. Let them be your first step toward thinking in English. Remember, the key to fluency is not in difficult rules. It is in daily use, emotional connection, and simple, powerful sentences that belong to your life. Chapter 4. Speak what you see. Look around you right now. Everything you see can help you learn English. The cup on your table, the window, the chair, the light, the book beside you. Every object around you is your teacher. You don't need a classroom to practice English. You just need to speak what you see. This simple habit can completely change the way your brain learns. It's one of the fastest ways to stop translating and start thinking directly in English. When you describe what you see, your mind begins to connect English words with real things. You look at your cup and say, "This is my cup." You look outside and say, "The sky is bright." You look at your phone and say, "I am holding my phone." You are not just speaking, you are training your brain to think in English without effort. Slowly, your thoughts will stop using your native language. They will start forming naturally in English. This technique is simple, but it is powerful. It works because your brain loves real experiences. It remembers better when you see, feel, and speak at the same time. That's how children learn their first language. They point, they say the word, and they remember. You can do the same. No translation, no pressure, just living English through your eyes and mouth together. At first, it may feel strange. You might think, "Why am I talking to myself?" But soon, it becomes natural. You'll start to notice that your English thoughts come faster. You won't need to search for words. They'll appear automatically because your brain will already know the link between what you see and what you say. Imagine walking down the street. You can describe everything in English. The road is long, the sun is hot. A car is coming. That girl is smiling. You don't need anyone to talk to, you already have the world to speak with. Every object, every sound, every moment becomes part of your English practice. You are turning your life into a classroom. That is how real learning happens. This practice also builds your confidence. When you describe things aloud, you hear your own voice speaking English. It feels good. You start believing in yourself. You start realizing, "I can actually speak." You don't have to wait for the perfect moment or the perfect person to talk to. You can begin now, wherever you are. Speaking what you see also helps your pronunciation. When you repeat short sentences again and again, your tongue learns the rhythm of English. You don't need to force it. It happens naturally. Your mouth gets comfortable with the sounds. You begin to feel English, not just know it. And when that happens, you are no longer translating. You are living the language. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. You can even turn it into a fun game. Every day, try to describe 5 new things in English. When you open your fridge, say, "There is milk, there are apples." When you walk outside, say, "The air is fresh, the birds are flying." You are training your brain through real life. That is how fluency grows. Fluency is not only about studying. It is about using. It is about taking what you know and making it part of your world. Every time you speak what you see, you are rewiring your brain. You are building a new connection that says, "English is my thinking language." So don't wait for tomorrow. Start now. Speak about what's in front of you. Describe it, feel it, repeat it. This small daily habit can turn your environment into your greatest teacher. Step by step, your brain will stop asking for translations. It will start speaking directly in English. Chapter 5. Stop translating feelings. There is one thing that connects all people in the world: feelings. Happiness, sadness, anger, excitement, fear, love. We all feel them. But when it comes to English, many learners forget to express feelings directly. They first think in their own language, then try to translate the emotion word by word. That is where fluency slows down. That is where confidence disappears. Real English begins not when you translate your feelings, but when you feel them in English. When you say, "I am happy," don't just say it because it's a sentence. Feel that happiness in your heart. When you say, "I am tired," let your body feel it. When you say, "I am angry," let the word come with real emotion. This is what fluent speakers do. They don't think about how to say it, they just express it. The emotion comes first, and the words follow naturally. You can do the same. Most learners translate because they try to find the perfect word. They think too much before speaking. They worry about being right instead of being real. But language is not mathematics. It's not about perfection, it's about connection. When you connect your emotions with English words, your speech becomes natural. You don't have to search for words anymore. They come from inside you. Think about how you speak in your native language. When you feel something, you don't plan your words. You just speak. You don't translate your happiness, you express it. English should be the same. Stop asking yourself, "How do I say this feeling?" and start living the feeling in English. The more you do it, the more your brain learns that English is not foreign. It's part of you. Let's make this practical. Every day, take a few minutes to talk about your feelings in English. Say how your day is going. Say what you feel when you wake up. "I feel lazy," "I feel strong," "I feel grateful." Say what you feel before sleeping. "I feel peaceful," "I feel calm." You can even write them down in an English diary. When you connect your inner emotions with English words, you stop translating. You start thinking in English because you are now living it emotionally. This method works faster than any grammar rule. The reason is simple. Emotions are powerful memory tools. When your brain connects a word with a strong feeling, it remembers it deeply. That's why songs stay in your head for years. That's why movies touch your heart. They connect emotions with words. You can use that same power to make English part of your thoughts. If you make mistakes while expressing your feelings, don't worry. Mistakes mean you are trying. They mean you are alive in the language. No one learns to speak perfectly from the start. Fluency grows from honest expression, not fear. When you open your mouth and speak your feelings, you give your English life. Many learners think fluency is about speaking fast. But real fluency is when you can express what you feel clearly and naturally. When you stop translating your emotions, your English voice becomes authentic. You sound real, not robotic. People will feel your words, not just hear them. That's the secret of confident speakers. So from today, make a new habit. Feel before you translate. Speak your emotions in English as they are. When you are happy, say it. When you are angry, express it. When you are proud, shout it. Let English become your emotional voice. Slowly, you will realize that English is not just a language you learn. It is a part of who you are. And that is when real fluency begins. Chapter 6: The Power of Listening. If speaking is the goal, then listening is the door that opens to it. Every fluent speaker you admire today was once a good listener. Listening is the secret that most learners ignore, but it is the one habit that changes everything. When you listen daily, your brain starts understanding patterns, sounds, and rhythm. It starts to think directly in English without needing translation. The more you listen, the more your brain learns to live inside the language. When you listen, you are not just hearing sounds. You are training your mind. Every voice, every word, every pause teaches your brain how English works in real life. You begin to understand the natural speed, tone, and emotion. You start to feel how sentences are built and how they connect. Even before you can speak perfectly, your brain is already learning silently through listening. That is why babies listen for many months before they speak. Their brain collects sounds, understands emotions, and builds a map of meaning. When they finally talk, it comes out naturally. You can learn the same way, no matter your age. Listening is not hard. You don't need a teacher or a classroom. You only need curiosity and a few minutes every day. You can listen while you walk, cook, or relax. Listen to English stories, short podcasts, or YouTube videos that use simple language. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the rhythm. Focus on how the words connect. The more your ears hear English, the more your brain starts to think in English. At first, it might feel slow. You may think, I don't understand much. But that's how real learning begins. Your brain is working silently, building connections that you cannot see yet. Every sound you hear becomes a part of your memory. One day, suddenly, you will notice it. You will listen to someone speaking, and you'll understand without translating. That moment feels like magic, but it's not magic. It's the power of consistent listening. To make listening more powerful, listen with emotion. Feel the speaker's tone. Notice how they express joy, sadness, or excitement. Try to copy that feeling in your heart. The goal is not only to understand the words, but to understand the feeling behind them. When you connect emotions to sounds, your memory becomes stronger. You will start to remember phrases easily because your brain feels them, not just hears them. Listening also helps you speak better. When you listen actively, your mouth slowly learns how to move with the sounds. You start to catch the natural rhythm. You stop sounding robotic. Your pronunciation improves without trying too hard. This is how fluent speakers train themselves. They listen first, copy later, and speak with confidence. You can start small. Choose 5 minutes each day. Listen to something simple and meaningful. It could be a short story, a conversation, or even this video again. Listen to it several times. Let the sounds become familiar. You'll notice that with each listen, your understanding grows. You will hear new things every time, even from the same sentence. That's how you know your brain is learning. The truth is, listening is not just practice. It's transformation. It changes how your mind hears and processes language. It teaches you without books, without translation, and without stress. It's the most natural way to build fluency. So, start today. Let English enter your ears daily. Let it stay in your mind and flow through your thoughts. One day, you'll realize that you're not only listening anymore, you're thinking, understanding, and living in English. Chapter 7. Daily Thinking Practice. Fluency is not built in a single day. It is built in small, repeated moments that happen every day. Your mind becomes fluent only when you train it to think in English daily. Not once a week, not once in a while. Every thought you create in English is a small exercise for your brain. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Thinking in English every day is not difficult. It just needs a little consistency and curiosity. You don't need to spend hours doing it. You only need small moments that already exist in your life. For example, when you wake up, say to yourself, "It's morning. I feel fresh." When you make tea, say, "I am boiling water." When you walk to work or school, think, "I am going to work." The road is busy today. These are not just sentences. They are training sessions for your mind. They help your brain to stop translating and start thinking directly in English. Your daily life is full of opportunities to practice. When you are waiting for something, think about what you see. When you are eating, describe the taste in English. When you are planning your day, do it in English. Say your to-do list aloud. I will finish my homework. I will call my friend. I will clean my room. These are simple actions, but they are powerful because they build habit. At first, your brain will resist. It will try to go back to your native language. That's normal. Every new habit feels strange at the beginning. But if you stay patient, your brain will adjust. Slowly, it will stop needing translation. It will start responding in English automatically. That is the moment you start to feel real fluency. The best part about daily thinking practice is that it fits into your normal routine. You don't have to sit with a book. You don't need anyone to practice with. You just need your own thoughts. Your mind is the best classroom you will ever have. You can practice anywhere, anytime, in silence or out loud. You can make your environment your teacher. Every sound, every object, every moment can help you. You can also use mirrors to make this practice stronger. Look at yourself and talk about your day. Say what you feel. Say what you want to do next. At first, it might feel uncomfortable, but it's okay. You're not performing for anyone. You're teaching your brain to use English naturally. Soon your thoughts will start forming in English even before you open your mouth. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't worry about grammar. The goal here is not to be perfect. The goal is to be consistent. When you think daily in English, you start to build your own English voice. That voice gets louder and stronger every day. One day, you'll realize that you are not thinking about translation anymore. You'll just be speaking from the heart. Fluency is not a gift, it's a daily choice. Every small English thought you have is a step forward. Each time you choose to think in English, you are training your brain to work in a new language. Over time, it becomes natural, smooth, and confident. So today, make a promise to yourself. Give English a few moments of your day, every day. Don't skip it, don't delay it. Think in English while living your normal life. It's the simplest and most powerful practice you can ever do. Your brain will thank you, your confidence will grow, and one day, you'll realize you've become the person who no longer translates, but simply lives and thinks in English. Chapter 8: Shadowing. Copy the English brain. There is a simple trick that can change the way you speak and think in English forever. It is called shadowing. This one technique has helped thousands of learners sound more natural, think faster, and speak more confidently. Shadowing is not just repeating, it is learning to copy how the English brain speaks. It teaches your tongue, your ears, and your mind to work together. So, what is shadowing? It means listening to a sentence in English and repeating it immediately, while the voice is still speaking. You listen and speak at the same time. You copy the sounds, the rhythm, and the emotion. It feels like dancing with the language. You are not just learning words, you are training your brain to think in English speed. That is what makes this method so powerful. When you shadow, your brain has no time to translate. It has to keep up with the voice. You are forced to think directly in English. You start understanding how native speakers connect words, how they stress sounds, and how they use emotion. Slowly, your own speech becomes smoother. You start sounding natural, not because you memorized rules, but because you trained your ears and mouth to move together. At first, shadowing feels difficult. You might get lost, you might miss a few words. That's okay. That is how it's supposed to feel. Every learner struggles in the beginning, but the more you do it, the more confident you become. The key is not perfection. The key is practice. Start with short clips. Choose something simple, maybe a story or a YouTube video in slow English. Listen to one sentence, pause, and repeat. Then try again without pausing. Slowly, your speed and understanding will grow. Shadowing is like exercising your brain. Each time you repeat, you make your brain stronger. You train it to hear faster, think faster, and respond faster. It's a complete workout for your English. You'll notice that after a few days, your pronunciation improves. After a few weeks, your confidence rises, and after a month, you start thinking in English automatically. That's the beauty of this method. To make shadowing more powerful, use your body. Stand up, move your hands, speak with emotion. When you use your voice and movement together, your memory becomes stronger. You are not just repeating sounds, you are living them. You are turning your practice into a real-life experience. This is how the English brain grows inside you. You can also record yourself while shadowing. Listen to your voice, compare it with the original. Don't judge yourself. Just notice how your voice is getting closer to the natural flow. Each small improvement matters. You will hear your progress in your tone, your speed, and your clarity. It will make you proud and motivated to keep going. Many learners study for years but never sound natural because they only read or write. Shadowing fills that gap. It gives life to your English. It helps you feel how the language breathes. It teaches you to stop translating and start flowing. You are no longer thinking, what is the right word? You are just speaking from rhythm and feeling. That is real fluency. So, make shadowing part of your daily routine. Choose 5 minutes a day. Pick your favorite voice, a podcast, or even a movie line. Listen and speak along. Repeat it again and again. In a few weeks, you'll notice a big difference in how your brain reacts to English. You'll understand faster, speak smoother, and think naturally. Shadowing is more than practice. It is transformation. It turns you from a learner into a speaker. It builds a bridge between your ears, your mouth, and your thoughts. Every time you shadow, you are not copying someone else. You are training your own English brain to think and speak with confidence. Chapter 9: Mistakes are part of thinking. Every English learner dreams of speaking perfectly. No grammar errors, no pronunciation problems, no pauses. But here is the truth that few people talk about. Perfection is not the beginning of fluency. Mistakes are. Every mistake you make is a sign that you are learning. Every wrong word is proof that your brain is trying to think in English. Mistakes are not the enemy, they are your greatest teachers. When you make a mistake, it means you are using English. You are practicing, you are growing. People who never make mistakes are usually the ones who never try. They wait until they feel ready, but that day never comes. The real secret to fluency is to start before you feel ready and keep speaking even when you make errors. That is how your mind gets stronger. That is how you train your brain to think faster and better. Think about how you learned to walk. You fell many times. You stumbled, you got hurt, but you stood up again. You never said, I will stop walking because I might fall. You learned from every step. English is the same. Each mistake brings you closer to fluency. When you say something wrong, your brain remembers and corrects it next time. That is how real learning happens. Many learners are afraid to speak because they fear being judged. They think others will laugh or correct them, but remember this. Even native speakers make mistakes. They forget words, they fix their grammar while talking. Nobody speaks perfectly all the time, so why should you expect yourself to? You are learning something new. You deserve patience and pride, not fear. The more you try to be perfect, the more you stop yourself from speaking. Perfection creates pressure. Pressure blocks confidence. And without confidence, fluency cannot grow. But when you accept mistakes as part of the process, something amazing happens. You start enjoying the language. You relax. You speak with more emotion. You stop thinking about every little rule. You start focusing on what really matters. Communication. You will notice that when you stop being afraid of mistakes, your brain becomes faster. You no longer waste energy checking every word. You just speak. And that freedom is what brings fluency. You will make mistakes, yes, but they will get smaller over time. Every day you will get better because you are practicing the way real people do. There's a simple truth in language learning. You cannot think in English without first being wrong in English. Every fluent speaker you see today once made hundreds of mistakes. They forgot words, they said wrong tenses, but they didn't give up. They used those mistakes to learn. That's why they can now speak with confidence. So the next time you make an error, smile. It means you are growing. It means your brain is learning how to adjust. When you say something wrong and notice it, that's a victory. It means your awareness is improving. That small correction is progress. And progress, not perfection, is what leads to fluency. Speak every day. Don't wait for perfect grammar. Don't wait for the right words. Just speak from your heart. You will learn faster than you think. Remember, mistakes are not the end. They are the beginning of your English journey. Every wrong word brings you closer to the right one. So be proud of your mistakes. They are proof that you are brave. They show that you are doing what others only dream about. Keep going, keep learning, keep speaking, because the more mistakes you make, the more fluent you will become. Chapter 10: When you start dreaming in English. There is a moment in every learner's life that feels almost magical. It's the moment when English stops being a subject and becomes a part of your thoughts. It's when you no longer need to translate. It's when your brain starts to dream in English. This is one of the most powerful signs that your mind has started to think naturally in the language. It means your brain has accepted English as one of its own voices. Dreaming in English does not happen suddenly. It happens quietly, after many small efforts. Every time you listen, speak, repeat, and think in English, your brain builds deeper connections. Those connections stay alive even when you sleep. When you dream in English, it shows that your brain has stopped separating languages. English is no longer a second language. It has become part of your real thinking process. That is fluency at its purest level. Some people think it's impossible. They say, I can't even speak perfectly while I'm awake. How can I dream in English? But it's not about perfection. It's about practice and consistency. The more English you invite into your daily life, the more it enters your subconscious mind. Watching stories, listening to music, talking to yourself, reading before bed, all of this prepares your mind. Slowly, English moves from your study table into your imagination. Dreaming in English is a sign of trust. Your brain finally trusts English enough to use it without fear. It's a beautiful stage because it means you've built a relationship with the language. It's no longer something outside of you. It's part of your emotions, your memories, and your thoughts. You begin to live in English, not just learn it. Imagine waking up one morning remembering that your dream was in English. Maybe you were talking to someone. Maybe you were asking for directions. Maybe you were just smiling and thinking in English words. That moment will fill you with pride. You will realize that all your hard work, all those hours of listening and speaking, were not in vain. Your brain has changed. It has grown. It has learned to think beyond translation. But here's the truth: you don't have to wait for the dream to happen. You can start preparing your mind today. Before you sleep, listen to something in English. It could be a slow story, a podcast, or even this video. Let those sounds enter your mind peacefully. As you close your eyes, repeat small sentences in your head. I am learning. I am improving. I am becoming fluent. This simple bedtime routine can turn into a powerful habit. Your mind continues to process English even while you rest. When you combine daily practice with sleep listening, your brain stays connected to English longer. It works silently. It organizes what you learn during the day. It builds stronger memory paths. That's how fluency becomes natural. You don't have to fight for it. You just have to feed your mind daily and let it grow. And remember, dreaming in English is not only about sleeping. It's about reaching a level where English becomes part of your inner world. You start thinking in English when you walk, when you plan, when you imagine your future. Those are also dreams, but they happen while you are awake. It means you are no longer a learner. You are a speaker, a thinker, and a dreamer in English. So keep going. Keep filling your mind with the language you love. Every word you listen to, every sentence you speak, takes you closer to that magical moment when your thoughts flow freely in English. One day, you'll smile and realize that English is no longer something you practice. It's something you live, even in your dreams. Chapter 11: Build Your English World. If you want to think in English, you must live in English. Not just in your classroom, not just for 1 hour a day. You have to surround yourself with the language completely. That is how your brain begins to accept English as part of your daily life. You can't grow fluency in an environment that only speaks your native language. You have to build your own English world. And the good news is, you can do it right where you are. Your English world begins with small choices. Change your phone's language to English. Set your apps, YouTube and Google to English. Read the notifications in English. At first, you may feel lost, but that's okay. Every new word you see will teach you something. You'll start understanding naturally, without studying. These small moments of exposure train your brain to see English as normal, not foreign. Next, fill your day with English sounds. Listen to music in English. Watch short videos, interviews, or movies with subtitles. Keep English voices playing in the background while you clean, cook, or travel. You don't have to understand every word. Just let your ears live in that sound. Your brain will absorb patterns even when you're not paying full attention. Slowly, English becomes the sound of your life. Then, start reading in English. Not complicated books, but small, simple things. Read quotes, captions, headlines, or short stories. Read what you enjoy. Reading daily makes your vocabulary stronger and helps your thoughts form in English. When you read something beautiful, say it aloud. Repeat it. Feel the emotion of the words. The more you read, the more your brain begins to think in English naturally. To build your English world, bring English into the things you already love. If you love cooking, watch recipes in English. If you love sports, read English articles about your favorite team. If you like fashion, follow English-speaking creators. Don't force the language. Let it connect with your interests. When you enjoy what you do, learning becomes effortless. You are no longer studying, you are living in English. Also, make your surroundings speak English. Label objects in your home. Write door, mirror chair, window, and so on. Every time you see those words, say them. This small trick helps your mind connect the language with real objects. Your home becomes your classroom, and your life becomes your practice. Talk to yourself in English every day. Describe what you're doing. I'm making tea, I'm getting ready for work. I'm tired but happy. These are simple sentences, but they build fluency faster than memorizing grammar rules. When you talk to yourself, you are building your English personality. You are training your inner voice to think directly in English. And don't forget to connect with people. Join online English communities. Comment on videos. Write short posts in English. When you communicate with others, you get real feedback. You start feeling more confident. You begin to see that English is not just something you learn, it's something you use to connect with the world. At first, building your English world might feel strange, but after some time, it becomes natural. You'll wake up and read in English. You'll listen in English. You'll think and even dream in English. It will become part of who you are. That's the true meaning of fluency. Your English world doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be alive. Fill it with sounds, words, emotions, and thoughts in English. Make it your daily environment. The more you live in English, the less you will translate. And one day, you'll realize something powerful. You are no longer learning English. You are living it, thinking it, and being it. Chapter 12, From Words to Thoughts. Fluency is not only about learning more words, it is about turning those words into real thoughts. Many learners focus only on vocabulary lists. They collect hundreds of new words, but forget how to use them naturally. The secret is not in how many words you know, but in how many you can feel, think, and speak without hesitation. When words turn into thoughts, that is when you truly start thinking in English. In the beginning, every word feels like a stranger. You study it, translate it, and try to remember it. But with practice, that same word becomes a friend. You see it, and you understand it immediately. You don't think about translation anymore. It becomes part of your thinking process. That is how your brain transforms English from knowledge into instinct. It takes time, but it is possible for everyone. To make this transformation happen, you must stop memorizing words alone. Learn them inside real sentences. When you hear "I'm hungry," feel the meaning. When you say it's raining, imagine the sound of rain. When you read "I'm proud of myself," connect it with a real moment in your life. The more emotion and context you give to words, the faster they turn into thoughts. You are not just learning language. You are creating a world inside your mind where English lives and breathes. Thinking in English is not magic, it's training. Every time you use simple sentences to describe your day, your brain builds stronger English connections. Every time you repeat a line you heard in a movie or a story, you are feeding your mind with natural rhythm. Slowly, your English thoughts grow louder. They start replacing the old habit of translation. It's like planting seeds. At first, you don't see anything. But if you water them daily, they grow quietly. One day, you wake up and realize that English has become part of your inner voice. When words turn into thoughts, you stop worrying about mistakes. You stop thinking about grammar. You just speak and express what's inside you. That is the beauty of real fluency. You no longer think of English as a subject, you live it. You use it to dream, plan, and feel. It becomes your second nature. The best way to move from words to thoughts is through real-life use. Don't just study English, experience it. Watch movies, talk to yourself, write your feelings, repeat powerful lines that inspire you. Whenever you see a word, try to use it in a real sentence that matches your life. If you learn the word hope, don't just write it down. Say, "I have hope for my future." Feel it. The connection between feeling and language is what builds deep memory. Every small moment matters. When you think in English for just 5 minutes a day, your brain changes. When you talk to yourself, your thinking speed improves. When you read out loud, your pronunciation grows stronger. Step by step, all those small actions build a new world inside your mind. One day you'll notice something beautiful. You'll hear a word in English and understand it instantly. You'll speak without hesitation. You'll write your thoughts without needing to translate. That day you'll realize that English is no longer something you study, it's something you think with. From words to thoughts, from thoughts to confidence, and from confidence to fluency. This is the journey every English learner must take. It starts small, but it ends big. Keep practicing, keep thinking, and never stop believing. Your English is already growing inside you. The more you think in it, the more it becomes your voice, your story, and your way of seeing the world. If this video helped you, don't stop here. Start your English journey today. Practice thinking, speaking, and living in English every day. Like this video if you believe you can change your brain. Comment below with your favorite sentence from today's lesson. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more motivational English stories and daily speaking practice. Together, we'll make English a part of your life, not just your study.